Good evening. Welcome to Mary is the new Evangelization.com. And tonight we're going to address Sherry Weddell, Scott Hahn, and the intentional disciple movement that just came through my diocese in Greensburg, PA. And so Sherry Weddell, because she wrote a book called Forming Intentional Disciples, is now getting the grand tour of all the dioceses in the United States, probably other countries as well. Everybody's going to the conference, getting a copy of her book. It's a pretty nice setup here for a woman to be given this, this grand and royal welcome throughout all the dioceses in this country. Now, maybe not all the dioceses, but a lot. This diocese in Greensburg, to bring Sherry Weddell in, they don't bring anybody in. So they're bringing Sherry Weddell in. Okay, so what is she saying? What is Sherry Weddell saying? She's saying that Catholics don't know the Lord in a personal way. She's saying that tons of Catholics do not have a personal relationship with Jesus. She's talked to people who've been serving in the church for 10, 15, 20 years who didn't know who Jesus was. So, Sherry Weddell has shared this tremendous insight to the leaders of our church that Catholics do not know Jesus Christ. Okay, so they've been baptized, they have received First Holy Communion, they have been confirmed, they have received the sacrament of penance, some of them have been married, some of them have holy orders. So they have received all the sacraments, and the sacraments don't work. They don't know Jesus, so the sacraments don't work. Okay, so Sherry Weddell has sent a powerful message that sacraments don't work. Okay, and so being a convert, what works? What works? Well, accepting Jesus as your personal Lord and Savior. That's what works. So that's what we have to do as Catholics. We have to get the Catholics to accept Jesus as their personal Lord and Savior. And we need to form evangelists who will evangelize inside the Catholic diocese all these people who don't know Jesus as their personal Lord and Savior. Okay. Now, Scott Hahn, in his book on the new evangelization, basically said the same exact thing, that Catholics don't know Jesus Christ. Interesting, Sherry Weddell and Scott Hahn, both converts. Both converts, and what are they saying? We got to lead people into a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. That's the most important thing. So, we have a church that is so dysfunctional, it's not even funny. We have spent all this time and effort in establishing the sacraments, CCD programs. Kids got to attend before they can receive certain sacraments. The church, that's what separates the Catholic Church from the Protestant churches. We have sacraments, yet they don't work. So that is the big grand news. The sacraments don't work. Thank you, Sherry Weddell. Thank you, Scott Hahn. The sacraments don't work. What works is a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. Well, this is what I find very fascinating. Okay? Mary is left out. Jesus' mother Mary is not part of Sherry Weddell's plan or Scott Hahn's plan for the new evangelization. Check his book out. Now, I know that he said that he doesn't know how he could have forgot her. But, he did. And Sherry Weddell in Greensburg, when the woman who was a personal friend of mine stood up and told her she was forming a rosary prayer group, Sherry Weddell questioned her. Why? What's the purpose of doing that? Okay? So, the Blessed Mother is not fitting into the plans here for Sherry Weddell and Scott Hahn's new evangelization. The Blessed Mother is definitely on the outside looking in on their plans. Okay? Now, You've heard all these arguments before. Oh, we don't want to offend Protestants, or oh, well, they have to get to know Jesus first before they can get to know Mary. Where are these? Where? Who? What? That's what you would hear in a. Listen, you have to get to know Mary first before you can get to know Jesus, because Mary was here first, and Jesus came through Mary. So if you don't know Mary, you don't know Jesus. You're just kidding yourself. You know about Jesus, okay? You know what the Protestants have taught you about Jesus, but without going through Mary, you really don't know Jesus, because so much of who he is formed by her. He was an unborn child in the womb because of her. It was in her womb. The whole pro-life message. That's what's got to get through to the people in the pews. You can sit there and say, "Oh, you must be born again. Confess Jesus with your lips, believe with God in your heart, and you shall be saved." You can go ahead and do that with people. You want to spend all your time back in elementary kindergarten, when in the meantime we have Christians being executed, we have babies being executed every single day in this country, and your answer, and then they're opening the doors for you. The diocese is opening the doors. Why? Because your message isn't convicting or challenging at all. You can just stay within inside of your church, people, and you can just find people in your church who want some attention. They don't know who Jesus is, so we're going to give them attention. But in the meantime, it's all within the four walls of the church, and the devil's fine with it. So you want to baptize them again too? You're going to maybe start to baptize these people again? All right. So, the money that's being spent, the waste of time, really, and money, when all that has to happen clearly in the Catholic Church is for the priests and the bishops to step it up and say, "All right, guys, enough is enough. We're going to meet. We're going to pray on Wednesdays. We're going to pray on Sundays after Mass. Okay, our brothers and sisters are being executed. We're aborting our future away here in America. Okay, you're in or you're out. You're pro-life or you're pro-choice." That's what it comes down to. We're going to, have a pro-life group in every single church. We'll be out at the abortion clinic. We'll find out who needs help, which girls need help who are pregnant. We'll put people in charge of that. Okay, we will educate people when life begins. Okay, we will be a bold witness in our community for life. We're not going to just stick inside the four walls. We're going to exercise freedom of speech. We're going to go out into the streets, and we're going to proclaim the gospel of life. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. He is that unborn child. "Whatever you do to the least of these, my brothers, you do unto me." That's what Jesus said. So, it doesn't have to be deep theological truth, because all you have to do is stand for life. Stand for the unborn child, and all of a sudden you're closer to Jesus than any program that you're going to offer these people. Okay? Because you can get people through programs and they're still not standing up for life. They're not letting their light shine. Okay? He said, "Many will say, 'Lord, Lord.'" He says, "I don't know who you are." Right now in America, in this Holocaust, and we're seeing, Mother Teresa predicted the fruit of abortion is nuclear war. She predicted that. John Paul II affirmed that. Pope Francis is living that. And ISIS is a demonstration of the pro-choice world we're in. They're chopping heads off, just like this happening in abortion clinics. But these guys are doing it on TV. Okay? That's what's going on. So I know that you're concerned about ISIS. Well, if you're concerned about ISIS, you need to be concerned about abortion, and you need to speak louder than ever. And my friend who spoke up, Sherry Weddell, at your conference, who spoke about abortion and the Blessed Mother, she felt that you were threatened by her, and she felt that you did not respect her. Okay? That's how she felt. And this woman is a godly woman who is standing up for pro-life, and she is standing up for the Blessed Virgin Mary. And that's what Jesus wants all of us to do. So whatever, enjoy the ride. That's all I can say. Enjoy the ride. But if you don't start talking about the Queen of Heaven and Earth, Our Lady of Guadalupe, the protector of the unborn child, and you don't start talking about fighting abortion, Sherry, guess what? Guess what? I mean, you pray, just pray about it. Thanks.